Okay, hello everyone, and for today's lecture, we're going to look at graphical user interfaces, or just have an introduction to them anyway. So the objectives of the lecture are to look at tkinter, which is a basic graphical user interface manager provided by, you download it with Python, it comes with Python, and the grid manager, which is how you lay out things. We'll look at a variety of GUI features. I'll keep saying GUI. GUI is just short for graphical user interface. Things like labels, text fields, buttons, checkboxes, combo boxes, radio buttons. And we'll see how to use functions to interact with the user. We'll also touch on efficient programming and what's called responsive design. Okay, so the motivation behind this lecture is that mostly our programs so far throughout the course have used a text-based user interface. So the program runs, you get a prompt or something, you type in some response, and the program responds to that. That's a bit clunky, hard to work with, and it's not what we're familiar with anymore. So graphical user interfaces, GUIs, give the user a window containing visual objects, which are often known as widgets. So things like text fields in which we can type things in, buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, combo boxes. You'll be familiar with all these things because basically all the programs generally that we interact with nowadays, like Microsoft Word or web browsers, they're all GUIs, and they're much easier to use than having to type all the commands in. Okay, tkinter, as I said, is this basic package provided by Python. Basic, but it's pretty good. So often you do GUI programming using this tkinter module. It's a cross-platform widget toolkit, that's what the TK stands for, that gives you a library of basic GUI elements. So, as I say, things like labels and text boxes. And the TK is toolkit, and inter is short for interface. We're going to look at a whole series of examples that introduce different widgets and how we put them in. And then we'll, right at the end, we'll build a GUI for choosing a pizza and some toppings. Okay, but first of all, we're going to have to create a basic GUI window. So let's do that. I'll finish the first video there, and then we'll look at creating a basic GUI window.